So I've always wanted to be an event planner. I wanted to be in the fashion industry too. So I wanted to be a buyer, fashion designer. But after I graduated from college, I know special events industry was going to be really hard to break into. So I went with the whole retail industry and I became a buyer. So I was a buyer for the Make Company, which led me to Washington. I had about 45 stores and I brought women's sportswear. So it was a really fun job at times, and then it was not so fun. And I just felt like I was a mathematician. I crunched a lot of numbers, which helped me now in my career, but I ended up really not enjoying it. So I did it for about 3 years, and again, I still had this whole love of being in the special events industry. They had a special events division because when you work retail and at that level, there's fashion shows and there are print ad, commercials, all kinds of special events and projects, in-store promotions, mall promotions, but they would never move me to that division. So I decided, you know what? I have to follow my heart. I have to be able to do what I want to do. So I put in my resignation, and then I got offered a job at PBS, the Public Broadcasting Service. So I helped them plan all of their meetings throughout the U.S. It was a great experience. It was fun. I met so many different people. And I really, learned the craft of meetings and events and all of the logistics and details that go into it. So I had a great time doing that. And then after I left PBS, I went to work for a catering and event company, helping them build their corporate and social markets and, planning events, designing events. And then I get to meet so many cool people and so many people from all walks of life and, clients that we did, weddings and bar mitzvahs for, to, our corporate clients that we did meetings and retreats. So it gave me this whole, varied length of experience. So I decided that I wanted to start my own company, and I wanted that company to be an event planning company, and I wanted my focus to be on the luxury market. So 10 years ago, I started my own company, and it's been great. And we do corporate, political, social events, and we do weddings. So from start to finish, from conception to conclusion, that's what we do. And I still enjoy it to this day because we really get to work with so many different types of people. Again, and I've met so many people over the years. And as the years progress, the business changes, the needs change. Now the whole social media market is so big, and we are, ever changing and always trying to please our clients. So I love weddings. I've always loved weddings, and that's very, odd for a boy to like weddings, but grew up to be a man. But I do. I really love weddings, and that's one of the sweet spots at my firm. We produce some beautiful weddings, and we've produced very beautiful weddings. So I'm always excited when we get that call from a client that wants us to plan and execute their wedding. We are very particular with the bride and grooms that we're able to help, and we want them to be very particular when choosing us. It's such a dynamic relationship, I would say, out of all of the other relationships that we have with our clients. But the bride and groom relationship, I tell you, and also the families, it's one that lasts a long time because you're planning one of the most special days of someone's life, and you have a certain period of time to plan that wedding in. And like I like to say, the big thing is you don't get a second chance. So, everything has to go as planned. People spend lots of hours, hurdling over many details and logistics. So we want to make sure that we're able to really fully execute and produce that vision. So, we talk about everything, and we always start, just with, I want to learn about my bride and my groom. I want to see what she's into, what he's into, how they met, how long they've been dating, what they envision the rest of their life to be, their family backgrounds. I want to meet their parents and their close friends, because that all gives us insight on how they'll be as a couple, and also how to help them navigate through their special day. I always like to tell my brides and grooms, hopefully this isn't the last time you entertain in your life, so we don't have to cram every single, vision that you may have into that one day. But we want it to be special. We want people to enjoy themselves. We're a sounding board. We want to be truthful with our brides and grooms. We want to tell them when we think things will work and we think things wouldn't work, July 4th might not be a great weekend to have weddings. People may be on travel or just want to spend the holiday, doing some type of non-wedding thing. But those are the kind of things that we try to do with our bride and grooms, and we also want them to be able to know that we're a resource for them, and they can come to us, and if it's a difficult situation and they need us to navigate it, we have no problems calling a guest and telling them, unfortunately, the invite was for you and one guest, not 4 guests. So those are the kind of things that we do. Again, our sweet spot is a luxury market and a luxury client. So we try to bring our bride and grooms the best of everything. We go over budget, and we go over all items for the wedding, or if it's a wedding weekend, from suggesting venues. We have a lot of destination brides and grooms. They have weddings, in the islands and abroad. We're happy to help them with that. We give them a list of different resorts that offer different things. Some people want islands where there are lots of activities, and some other people want, islands where it's quaint and quiet and they won't see anyone. But, I enjoy it so much, and I really enjoy that relationship. When we're doing a wedding, we really try to focus on that wedding alone. We have scheduled times to speak to our brides and grooms. We have scheduled days. We go out and we do what we like to call field trips, and just helping them plan their special day and really helping them do it with style and grace. So I love it. We do and prepare notebooks for them, and we're constantly in review for them. I tell them if they're out to dinner and they see an entree that they love, take a picture and send it to me, because I want them to be comfortable, and I want them to feel like, they can talk and share with us. And, I don't want them to worry about their wedding. That's one thing we always say to them. If somebody tells you, oh, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, tell them, no, don't worry about it. I'm not worried. We have a great planner working with us. He and his team do a good job, and they won't let us fall behind. And that's what we try and do. We really, really do. And then just seeing the, joy on the families' faces and the smiles on the bride and groom's faces over the course of the wedding weekend. I mean, that's great. And, helping them even with their thank you notes and, follow-up meetings after the wedding. So for us, the wedding is a very special time, you're bringing 2 people together, 2 families together, you have all different types of religious beliefs and, other psychological and other social beliefs. So it's this whole marriage of, a lot of different things, and we're happy to be a part of it. So trends, exciting trends, what's happening in 2014. So we've just gotten through a crazy winter. We can all breathe now and be excited for spring and summer. And we see lots of color, lots of color. We have been using this spring and early summer lots of pastel palettes, light blue and mint green, and yellows that are more of a creamy yellow tone. And we see them going, to midsummer. And then we've been, for a summer and early fall, we've been doing stripes, lots of stripes and patterns. So very excited about the trends. I think when you are planning and designing a wedding, you have to really be careful because you want your wedding, when you look back on it 10 years from now, to still look fresh and exciting and not so trendy. So, it's all in details. A lot of times when we come up with our, concepts, we may do a very pastel colored ceremony. The bridesmaids may have on a beautiful creamy yellow and very soft flowers, and the groomsmen, we like to keep it really classic with the black tuxedos. And then I think the time to play is when you really go to the reception. The reception, it could be fun, it could be a totally different color. If your mom wanted you to do all golds and metallic golds, and let's do it, because I think that's the time to do it. But you got to do it in a way where it's not overpowering and it's still looked of the now, but also when you're looking at your wedding album 5 years from now, you can say, oh yeah, we did good. This book still looks good. Looks like this wedding could be today or tomorrow. And a lot of times people say, where do you get your vision from, and where do you get your, concept from? I might take a restaurant. If the bride and groom, they love this one restaurant, I'll find out what about that restaurant do they like? Why are they comfortable there? Is it the food? Is it the atmosphere? Sometimes people like a casual atmosphere, and lately we've been creating lots of lounges, at weddings, and bottle service is the big thing now. So, a lot of times we create these venues at weddings that are little lounges, and we do little, bottle service, but at a miniature version at the wedding where, bridesmaids may be in a corner and some of the groom's friends here and there and family members, and it really is a kind of unique situation. So our design concept stems from so many things, It's season, if it's spring, we try to play off the cherry blossoms just left. So we really try to do a lot with cherry blossoms and the tulip magnolias and other blooming branches and flowers, because that's a great time and they have great impact and it's pretty natural. So you can use a lot of the outdoor if the weather, cooperates with you. And again, playing on colors, and just, from drapes to table linen to floral to, all kind of accessories, from the escort card to the menu cards. We take all of those things, even a simple thing as a chair. Sometimes people don't want to be so matchy-matchy, so we won't do all of the exact chairs, or we'll mix the chairs at one table. So we really try to learn to the bride's and groom personality and their aesthetic. Sometimes, again, I talked about marrying these personalities earlier. Sometimes you have someone who's very conservative and they're just very, traditional. And then you have someone who is, hey, they're wild and they're like, I want it to be hot and hip and, so you have to find a cool, fun way to do that. You may say, okay, let's do this very traditional seated dinner. And then right after the entree course, let's not serve dessert at the table. Let's create a lounge. Let's create an exciting party with no seats. Let's stand up, tables and high bar stools. So, we have our design concept and our creative concept just spans, the globe. And we really take a lot of our hints from the globe, whether it be things that are in fashion now and trending. There could be some other topics or, cool hip items that are in right now that we need to try to play on. So our design concept comes from a lot of different places. So I am, super excited on our 10 years of growth, and I am very blessed and thankful. We've done some really great things. I've worked in mostly every major metropolitan city within the United States, from Washington to Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Denver. So we've had a great varied, of experience. I work with a lot of major corporations, like AT&T, Dell, Microsoft, BET Networks, CNN, BizBash, We've been very blessed to have been featured in numerous publications, you know, from Vogue magazine to Capital Fowl magazine to Martha Stewart Weddings to lots of great, you know, I can only, you know, dream big, or I can only think about, oh gosh, I've always wanted to be in that magazine, or I've always wanted to do it. And some of these things have come to fruition. We've worked with lots of celebrities and entertainers and athletes from, you know, all walks of life. So that's exciting. And, you know, people say, oh, you work with celebrities and you work with these entertainers and, you know, football players and basketball players. But I love everyday people too. And that's, you know, your bread and butter, you know, and they are the people that help sustain the business. Sure, it's good, you know, every now and then to work with a Sean Combs or, you know, whomever it may be. But it's also good to have a consistent business that puts out a quality product. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And that's what I'm most thankful about. I am glad that I've built a brand that stands for, you know, quality, a brand that stands for, you know, class, very well done events. And, you know, sometimes people equate well done with, oh, that must be very expensive or that must cost a lot of money. No, I think it's, you know, I think it's style, I think it's execution, and I think it's really just knowing the craft and knowing, you know, what you're doing. And I'm very thankful that I have this innate talent to be able to produce and create these events, from those corporate and social and political to big entertainment style events and grandiose weddings. So you can reach us at eventsbyandrewells.com. You can email me personally at andre@eventsbyandrewells.com. And please visit all of our social media sites. We are Facebook and Instagram at Events Andre Wells. Again, that's Events Andre Wells. Please become our follower, become our friend, tag us. Love to be in contact with each and all of you. And then also Twitter, Events Andre Wells. So again, andre@eventsbyandrewells.com. I'm sorry, yeah, andre@eventsbyandrewells.com. That's our email address. And our website address is eventsbyandrewells.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, Events Andre Wells. And our office telephone number is 202-518-6908. Looking forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Take care.